Hey guys, welcome back to some more Fire Emblem Heroes. It's time to look at the interim results for Choose Your Legends 7, and you're not going to want to miss this. This is a huge update, it's going to change everything. I wouldn't lie to you. So usually, when they do the interim results for Choose Your Legends, we get the top 20 in each category, ranked 1 to 20. They're doing things a little differently this time. Instead of giving valuable data to us, they've just kind of given us the list of characters that are currently in the top 20 for each category, which I don't think is that helpful or interesting. I don't think anybody's voting is going to be affected by this. I've seen some speculate that it could be because they want to cut down on spite voting, where if a certain character is leading, then people band together to prevent that character from winning. And I could maybe see that, but overall I don't like this as much, just because, I mean, like I said, like no one is going to affect their voting because of this, I don't think. But even still, there's some stuff here we can analyze. So we've got some newcomers in the top 20 for the men's side, and that also means we've got some people that have dropped out. Obviously, Chrom and Sulla have dropped out. They're not going to be votable anymore. Xander has also dropped out, so he's not in the top 20 anymore. But to replace those three, we have Shez, Ferdinand, and Leaf. Leaf is up. He wasn't even in the top 20 before, which I find surprising. I've always been surprised by Leaf's lack of support in Choose Your Legends. You would think by now, in round 7, now that we've done this for 7 years and we've had all the different lords basically get their alts, like Byleth and Ike and Alm and all, I mean, just about everybody. All of the lords have gotten their alts except for Leaf, which is surprising, I think. I'm surprised I don't see more support for Leaf. It's cool to see Ferdinand here. I suspect it has to do with his voice actor passing away in the last year, which is really unfortunate. I think that renewed people's appreciation for Ferdinand, and I think that makes sense. Ferdinand is a really excellent character from Three Houses, so I'm happy to see him here. And finally, Shez is just a new character, so he's just going to make it in there because he's a new main character from Three Hopes. There's really not much I can infer from this data. It doesn't give us much to work with. This really is very similar to the top 20 from last year. If there's any comment I can make here, it's just that I find it slightly interesting that Black Knight is still in the top 20. So Black Knight is a character that wasn't really like in the top 10 before. He was probably towards the bottom of the top 20. And the fact that he's still around that same area implies to me that he's still getting the same amount of votes despite recently getting a seasonal alt on the Winter banner. Conventional wisdom would say that getting an alt so recently would make you perform worse in Choose Your Legends. That's kind of how we've looked at this ever since we got Mage Erica all the way back before CYL7. But yeah, that seems to maybe be changing. I think people don't necessarily care anymore if a character got an alt recently, which would bode well for Soren, because he did. He is now getting a freebie alt in Tempest Trials. I hope that alt doesn't affect his placement, because I'm just really disappointed that Soren didn't get a perf weapon, or even like a perf skill. My predictions for the men's side winners has not really changed. I still think it's going to be Felix and Soren. I haven't seen too many really vocal campaigns for characters. I think the only two exceptions so far that I've seen have been Soren and Hilda, actually. Those are the two that I've seen trending on Twitter with a couple thousand tweets. So maybe those two will win? I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I'm sticking with Felix and Soren for my prediction. Moving on to the women's category, we have some goners here as well. We've lost Tiki and Byleth because they won last time. And we also lost Annette. She was number 20 before. Instead, we have Shez, Gulveg, and Sharena. So yeah, I think this is maybe one of the only things that we can even get out of these interim results, since they're not giving us anything more substantial. Is just that I think it's maybe reassuring for some people to see Gulveg and Sharena here. It's just like a recognition, like, hey, look, our votes are actually working. We got our character into the top 20, which isn't particularly hard, but hey, you did it, congratulations. Yeah, that's really the only thing I think you can possibly get out of these interim results. I don't think anybody is going to change the way they're voting because of this. But anyway, yeah, Gulveg isn't surprising. She's kind of the same role as Plumeria was when she first came out. Shez, not surprising either, just a new Lord character, you could say. Sharena is the most interesting to me because out of all the CYLs we've done so far, she hasn't really had that rise to the top 10 before, not like Veronica did in CYL2. So who knows, maybe Sharena is surging. I would love to know for sure, but I mean, for all we know, she could be number 20. My prediction for the women's side, I I hesitate to change it to Bernadetta and Hilda, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm thinking it could be Bernadetta and Hilda. In addition to the interim results, we got this image introducing Faye the Owl. I don't know if you've heard of this character, but yeah, this is... I don't know why they included this image. This is to introduce the new Rising Hero Award. This time, we also have the Rising Hero Award for the hero who has risen the most in the rankings since the last CYL event. Here are the current candidates. The top 3 of each category will be given a special introduction. I don't think we know what that special introduction is, if it's going to be like a new version in the game, or I should say like a new alt unit in the game for those characters. I think it's more likely it might just be some kind of special recognition in a Fae channel. I think that might literally be it. But yeah, the way to interpret this data is these are going to be the characters that have risen the most rankings. So if they were number 600 before, and now they're 500, then that means that they have risen 100 ranks, so they could be here. As a result of that, you're going to see a lot of characters that typically just don't get that many votes, because it's not necessarily the units who have gained the most votes, it's the units who have gained the most rankings. So we have the women's side here with characters like Dehorba, Flavia, Juno, some others. Monica kind of makes sense because she became more of a noteworthy character with the release of Three Hopes. There's not really much to get out of these results, I don't think. I mean, the only thing I can think is this would encourage people that are voting for characters that are really down low, like these guys, because now it's like, oh, okay, well, I can vote for these characters and they'll get some recognition maybe. Like, you could actually band together with like a handful of people and actually get one of these characters recognized. I think like a medium-sized Faetuber could realistically get just about any character to be in the top 3 here in either category. Unfortunately, I'm small time, but we'll get to that later. Here's the results for the men's side, and I'll be damned if it isn't the worst image I've ever seen. There's some real hitters here. I'm not even gonna read the name. So yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you recognize the characters that are just raising the most ranks and not the most votes. Like frickin' Desai, like he might have been 600th place before, and now if he's gotten like 20 more votes than he did last time, then he might have risen like 50 ranks. Who knows? That might be all it takes. Yeah, is a weird one, but hey, this is potentially exciting because now any character could get recognized as being the rising hero. Well, okay, hold on, not any character, because personally, I think that characters that are kind of in the middle zone, like the top 300, the top 100 area, it's actually pretty hard for them to get recognized here, because to raise ranks at that point, you just need more votes. So yeah, I think the characters that are going to be occupying these top 3 slots are going to be, they're going to be characters like these guys who are just usually all the way down there. And now if they've risen 100 ranks by getting some more votes, then that'll be all it takes. I think it's going to be really hard for Braum to get recognized here because he was rank 300 before, he had 250 votes, and so for him to raise 100 ranks, it's going to be tricky. I don't know if we can do it on our own. Or I should say, I don't know if I can do it on my own, because I don't know if anybody else is actually giving votes to Braum. But hey, this is the best time to do it. There's never been a better time to vote for Braum. We can maybe, probably, perhaps, who knows, get top 3 in the Rising Hero Award. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Are you going to be changing the way you vote based on this at all? Are you going to be voting for a rising hero like Bloom or Desai? Have your personal predictions changed for who might win? I'm still rolling with my Felix, Soren, Bernadetta, and then like my uncertain fourth prediction, which I'm leaning towards Hilda, but then it could also be F. Corin. I don't know. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.